Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I am taking a trip down memory lane, remembering the time that I visited the Maldives. So we went to the Maldives back in 2017 when we were still very new to travel, and it was absolutely amazing. It was absolutely beautiful, from the stunning white sands to the actual experience. The resorts that we visited was about 2 months old at the time, so it was brand new. It wasn't full. There was barely any guests there except for us. So we thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a place that I would definitely go back to. One of the highlights for me, or one of the things that stand out for me when planning the trip, was the costs. It was definitely one of those luxury trips. I remember just taking the seaplane from mainland to the resorts that we stayed in, which was called Candida, spelled with a K. It was about $1,000 per person at the time for a return trip to the island, from mainland to the island and then back again on the day that you leave. You can get from mainland to the resort, but I remember that it was like the boats leave at certain hours of the day, and it also would have taken very long. So the easiest thing to do was to take the seaplane, which was a 45-minute trip. So yeah, in terms of cost, I think that stood out as something that was quite pricey. The other thing in terms of cost that I think I know now, but I wish I'd known then, was the difference between taking half board and taking full board, because I know with me, when I visit certain areas or places, I'm not big on breakfast. So I always think that if I've maybe had breakfast, then I can skip lunch and have dinner. But the way that they had meals spaced out, it benefited you to just pay for full board, because breakfast, for example, would finish at around 9 a.m. and then lunch would only be served at certain times. I think it was like 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock or something, and then dinner was from 7 p.m. So you couldn't get away with having 2 meals, because they were for such short periods of time during the day, and there was such a huge time difference between 2 meals. So definitely recommend taking full board. I don't know if that makes sense. But also in terms of the cost per meal, it was so overpriced. I think we were spending about $100 per person on a meal. I could be wrong, it was such a long time ago, but yeah, it just made better sense to just take full board. In terms of activities to do, there were lots of water activities that you could do. But other than that, there isn't much to do. And from what I understand, the resort was growing at the time. It was still being built. So I think back then there was about 3 restaurants, but they were planning on having more restaurants. So I'm not sure what it looks like now. But yeah, there wasn't a lot to do outside of being at the resort and just doing water activities. I know that Maldives is a predominantly Muslim country. So if you are somebody that enjoys alcohol, you already need to research if the resorts that you're going to will be serving alcohol. Otherwise, you have to actually travel to other islands to have a drink. But the one that we went to did serve alcohol. So yeah, enjoy the video.